Alright, hello folks, everybody. This is me, Sam the Blue Tech Guy, right here back at you with another video right here. So yeah, alright folks. So today we're going to be doing what is called the visually impaired tag. Now, I don't do too many tag videos, but I like this one. I chose this one because it has to do with visual impairment. So yeah, it's 8 questions, not too long. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and cue it up right here. Meanwhile, we'll be right back shortly. Alright folks, that's it. Hope you liked that intro. It's basically just me queuing up the questions. Nothing too fancy. I could go back and do a fancy intro with Cyberlink Power Director, but I may do that or I may not. I might just leave the video as is. Hopefully you like it. You might like it. You might not like it. Well, it's your opinion. So hopefully I'm doing a good job. Only you guys out there can tell me, so let me know with comments below. Because this is Sam the Blue Tech Guy, legally blind, and I don't mind. Alright guys, so let's get started real quick. Don't want to make the intro too long. Okay, so first of all, it's a series of 8 questions, and it is by a YouTuber out there. Goes by the name Alisha. That's right, Alisha. Also known as Alisha's Guide. Yeah, so her name is Alisha, and her channel is Alisha's Guide. Just found her videos. I've been watching her videos. I really think she's really cool. She's got nice video content. So, yeah, she did this thing called the visually impaired tag, which she tagged anybody out there to do it. I decided to do it, and I'm going to. I also want to give some more quick shout-outs to Sam over at The Blind Spot. Really cool guy. I love his videos. I love his content. He's all about assistive technology and so on like that. He's really cool. Also, to a good buddy of mine, J.R. Berenson, who I was very happy to find his videos. He has been such an inspiration to me. A long time ago, I was looking up videos, and I wanted to look up visually impaired vlogs, and actually, he was one of the first ones to pop up. Actually, one of the first ones that actually started collaborating with me. You know, I left the comments, he replied, and then we became good buddies on Snapchat and on Facebook as well. So, shouts to you, J.R. Berenson. So check him out. It's J-R-B-J. I think it's O-R. Berenson. E-N-S-O-N. Somewhere on there. But you can look him up. I don't quite remember how to spell it off the top of my head. So, yeah. Okay, guys. So, let's get started with the questions. I don't want to ramble too long. So, like I said, it's 8 questions. So, the first question is, what is the name of your disease? Okay, first and foremost, I do have some eye conditions. If you want to talk about diseases and just conditions of the eye in general, I do have glaucoma. There's different types of glaucoma. It's like I have 2 types of glaucoma. I have in my right eye right here, which is known as secondary glaucoma, which is basically you get that from trauma or injury to the eye. Sometimes even surgeries can cause secondary glaucoma. I've had all of that in this eye. I've had surgeries. First and foremost, I've had an eye injury when I was very young. I was about 6 years old back in 1975. A little young girl threw a rock and damaged my eye. So, yeah. And surgeries and stuff, a lot of scar tissue developed. So, yeah, that's how I developed secondary glaucoma. Later on, this was back when I was 6 years old. So, later on, around 12 years old, so I began to develop open-angle glaucoma in this my right eye. So that is also another condition that I also have. And I also have myopia and astigmatism. Yeah, okay, yeah. And also congenital nystagmus, which is the involuntary eye movement of the eye, also known as the dancing eyes. They don't sit still. You see that little
movement going on there. See, like that. Okay. Also, my eyes don't move very uniformly. If I want to pan to the right or left without moving my head, but just my eyes, they don't move straight because of the nystagmus. So if I want to go look right. Well, actually, it's your left. Look left. Okay, see? I can't do it very straight. My eye always wants to jerk upwards, and that is because of the nystagmus. Yeah, so yeah, they do the little dancing thing there, right there, so yeah. Anyway, so that's congenital nystagmus. Okay, so, and the next question, actually, let's get a little down closer here. It's big, but I still have to get a little closer. When were you diagnosed? Okay, the diagnosis. When was I diagnosed? First of all, first and foremost, congenital nystagmus I was born with, and since birth, which also then I sustained a little bit of head trauma. I fell out of a crib when I was a baby, landed head first on the floor, so that kind of made things a little worse. So yeah, that also led to some other little neurological defects which improved over time. But the nystagmus is probably the only thing that I actually stayed with. So I was born with that. Glaucoma, the secondary glaucoma, the open angle glaucoma, I was diagnosed. Actually, let's start with the secondary glaucoma because that came first on the right eye. That developed after the numerous surgeries and things like that, where they made attempts to try to repair the eye and so on, and then a lot of scar tissue build up and so on. So that's what happened there, and then I developed the secondary glaucoma. And then later on, when I was about 12 years old, I was diagnosed with open angle glaucoma in my left eye, which is my good eye, which I was back in 12 years old, and here I am almost 40. I'm about 48, going on 49. Not too far from 50, right? Yeah. Well, since then, I've been on eye drops to control it, but it has progressed, and it has taken practically almost most of my peripheral vision, so I have no temple side vision, very little vision here, and yeah, so I was diagnosed at 12 years old with that. And then recently, 6 months ago, I was also diagnosed with astigmatism and myopia. So those are the other two newest conditions that I got. So talk about getting the full package, right? Yeah. Okay, so in the next question, what can you see? So what do I see? Well, like I said, I am not totally, completely, 100% blind, but I do have a little bit of both. Complete blindness and low vision at the same time. Because I'm completely blind in my right eye, so that is 100% blind. I do have low vision and restricted visual fields on this side because due to the nystagmus and the glaucoma, myopia and stuff, it affects my ability to focus clearly. So how do I see the world? Okay, the world is like, if you think about it, someone holding a camera with a trimmer. Can't keep it still. So everything looks shaky. Sometimes things can look pretty clear. Sometimes things can look pretty blurry if you also think of it as a camera with a very bad autofocus. So my vision's not very clear. It's not very bad and distorted, but it's also not very clear. It's not what a typical normal person should be seeing. I wear glasses. These are progressive bifocal lenses. They do help a little bit, but they don't help very much. They don't fully correct my visual issue because glasses can't stop eye movement. And the nystagmus does affect my vision to a great deal. It affects my depth perception, and it affects my inability to see things clearly, which is why I need large print. Also, eye fatigue causes a lot of eye fatigue, so I can't be looking at things for too long. And yeah, so that's basically what it does. Okay, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on question number 4. What do you use to help you out? Okay, so what helps me? Visual impairment. Okay, Visual aids. First of all, I use magnifiers. Large print helps me out. Like right here, these questions are very blown up. I use things like apps on my phone, special accessibility apps on my phone, special high contrast. I use TalkBack, or which they also call it VoiceOver on the iPhone. I use the speech feature on my computer also. I would like to have Zoom text software, but it's pretty expensive and I can't afford it. So, yeah. I also use a CCTV, which is basically like a big computer monitor that, it lets me put printed material, like a newspaper, down underneath it, and I have controls where I can magnify and I can make it as large as I need to. So that is another thing that I do, because I cannot read standard print. It's impossible. It is impossible for me to read a newspaper without magnification. Not even with my glasses. I can have the best lighting in the world. I still can't read it without high-powered magnification. Everything's got to be big. Yeah, so... yeah, okay, so that's... and I also use a monocular. This is a little monocular right here. I use this for reading street signs, addresses on buildings... anything that I need to see at a great distance, because I don't see detail at a distance at all. Everything looks blurry. I don't recognize people from a distance. I cannot even recognize people through car windows. If someone is driving past me and they wave at me, but I don't wave back, I can't recognize you. By the time I recognize you, you will have already driven past me, and oh my God, there was so and so. Oh my God, you know what I mean? Yeah, so restricted visual field. Sometimes people may want to put their hands out to shake it. I don't see it. I tend to walk away. I bump into objects that are in my immediate path. That's people, objects, shopping carts, you name it. I can see people a little bit ahead of me, but once they leave my visual field, I no longer know that they're there. And I've even knocked over some small children before, which, yeah, I'm not proud of that, but that's just what happens. I use this. It's a portable video magnifier. This is like kind of a inexpensive one. There are the more elaborate ones. There's the Ruby XL, the Optilex. This is just a little more cheapy one, but it does what I need it to do for reading menus in a restaurant and so on and stuff like that. Just anything that I need to enlarge. This is portable. This is like my big CCTV, but it's pocket-sized. Monocular, I also use it for restaurant menus. If those overhead menus, if you ever go to like Kentucky Fried Chicken or somewhere and they've got those large menus out there, McDonald's, I cannot read those, so I use the monocular for that. So this is basically used for anything that I need to see at a distance, whether it's indoors or outdoors. Lecture hall, classroom, restaurant, overhead menus, you name it. Alright, so yeah. I don't use Braille. I would like to learn Braille, because that would really alleviate a lot of eye fatigue. White canes, never used one. I've had mobility training. I've been introduced to the white cane, but never fully trained on how to use one. I've been considering on wanting to use a cane. Sometimes at night I may need it, because I don't always see the drop-offs on the sidewalk. Whenever walking in a park through grassy areas, I don't always see the holes or the little bumps. So a cane would probably be beneficial to me. Never used one. At the foremost, I would like to use something called an identification cane, which is not really for full mobility. It is just for visual, to let people know that I don't see well. For an ID cane, I don't know if training is actually required or not, but if, if I could just start using it. I am familiar with the cane, with the techniques, because like I said, I was introduced to the cane, but never fully trained. So I know the techniques. I'm wondering if remedial training, should I get training to use the cane, since I've never really officially been trained? Or would I be okay with what I know? So if there's anybody out there who can help me with that, if you're a mobility specialist, help me out, because I'm having a little bit of trouble deciding on that. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, so that's okay. Let's go to the next question. So what has it taught you? Okay, what has it taught me? Well, first and foremost, it's taught me to basically just be myself and be all I can be to the fullest of my ability, and to just move on. And even if I have to do things differently, it's even taught me to not worry about what other people think, because there was a time where I really thought, didn't want to be the legally blind kid in school. But it's taught me to just be myself and not worry about what people think. So yeah, blindness is not a good thing. It's not a happy thing. But if you're already there, just learn to adapt. That's basically what it's taught me to learn how to adapt. Okay, so what is the annoying part of being legally blind? Okay, first of all, first and foremost, when I'm trying to look for things, such as maybe a pen, a set of keys, on a table, and you have a table that's cluttered with objects, or a countertop, and I'm trying to look for that one object, and I scan past and I don't see it, and I don't see it. Or sometimes I might be looking for my phone, and I'm like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? And it blends in, and it's either on the cushion, and it blends in so much that I don't see it clearly. It could be when things are right in front of me and I don't see them, but I know they have to be there. That's so annoying. Very annoying. I wouldn't call this annoying, but it kind of does get to me a little bit. Not being able to drive. I cannot drive a car because of these conditions. It's not safe. It would not be safe. And I don't meet the requirements of the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles here in Texas. So because I'm legally blind, I cannot drive. Bioptic glasses will not work because with an nystagmus, it would just take me too long to move from the bioptic lens to my regular lens. My reaction time would not be accurate because also depth perception issues and so on. I would just be at too much of a risk for accidents. So that's one little bit of independence that I don't have. We don't have public transportation here where I live. We have a small cab company, but they're too expensive. We don't have Uber, nothing like that. So sometimes that can be annoying. When I want to try to get around, and I either have to ask for rides or in many cases walk, which I will do if I have to. But it is a little annoying. Okay, so what would you tell your younger self? I would tell my younger self to just don't worry about what people think, because like I said, when I was younger, back in my days, I was bullied. I had people throw objects in my immediate path just so that I could trip and stumble. So all just because they wanted to get a good laugh. That was my younger self. Even when I started my YouTube channel back a couple of years ago, I was ridiculed and made fun of by haters here on YouTube. And, I was also very self-conscientious, I think. People would always ask, hey, what's up your eyes, man? What's wrong with your eye? Ooh, what's wrong with that eye? Oh. Some of them would go, ooh, and some of them would be like, ooh, what's wrong with your eye, dude? What's up with your eye, man? It used to bother me, but it doesn't. So I tell myself that this is who I am. This is how I roll. Don't worry about it. This is me. This is you. You know what I mean? Whoever doesn't like it, they don't have to look at me. You know what I mean? Because I can't do nothing about it. And I can't change it. So that's what I tell my younger self. Be yourself. And don't worry about what other people think. If they stare, let them stare. If they want to ask me something, they can ask me. And if they're so grossed out that they don't want to look at me, they don't have to. Okay, so do you hope for a cure? That is the last question. I would hope for a cure if it is 100% guaranteed that it could fix all my problems. But if you're going to tell me about experimental procedures and things that you're not sure of, no, I won't do it. I've seen many ophthalmologists in my life. One of my previous ophthalmologists suggested a procedure which involved, injecting something into the muscle of the eye, that it would totally stop the movement. But yet he wasn't so sure if that was going to work or not. So I was like, I don't want to mess with that eye if you're telling me it's not going to work. So if there's a cure, I would take it if it's 100% guaranteed. If there is no cure, then I'm fine the way I am. I don't mind at all. I've learned to adapt. Been like this most of my life. I really wouldn't worry about changing anything right now. I've been asked to get a prosthetic eye because it looks better, cosmetic reasons. No, this is how I am. This is how I look. This is my natural eye. And like I said, if no one likes it, they don't have to look at it. You know? So yeah, that's pretty much my answer for that. So right about that's the end of the question. Those are the 8 questions, and I want to give thanks to Alisha over at Alisha's Guide here on YouTube. Once again, I will try to provide a link in the description. If I can learn how to do those YouTube thingies where the little thumbnails appear on the side of the video, I can do that as well. But other than that, maybe I'll just put a link in the description. So guys, hopefully you like this. And by the way, the tag, I invite anybody out there to do this tag. If you're visually impaired and you run into my video, yes, do the tag. Do it, because I think you would like it. It would be pretty interesting. There goes my phone vibrating. I'm sure you guys can hear that. I should have turned off my notifications. Anyway, guys, so yeah. So that's about. All right, folks, so that's it. We're going to wrap it up. And I had a good time. I enjoyed answering these questions. And first and most, guys, I enjoy being myself. I like being who I am. And I love doing things here on YouTube. So I'm not going to let any of this bring me down, guys. Haters out there, keep hating. All you're going to do is make me more popular. And you're going to bring my channels up even more. So yeah, guys. So yeah, if you're visually impaired, don't let it bring you down. And that's it, guys. That's all I have to say. So until then, in my next video, guys, just keep on dancing and just reach for the stars and be yourself. Don't worry about what anybody says, guys. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a great time and a wonderful, blessed day. All right. We're out. Yeah. Peace. Oh, wow. Here, guys. I'm legally blind, and I don't mind. Yeah! I should put that on a shirt, right? Yeah! Tell me if it's a good idea. Alright, guys! Bye!